Folks, welcome back, or welcome to, for the first time, if you're just getting here, to Conversations. Let's go. It's lit. It's lit. My name is Ben.
And my name is Ryan.
And we are your hosts, folks. Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, what a great audience.
We have a great studio audience. Thank you guys for showing us love. Ryan, what's up, man? How was your week, dude?
My week is shitty, man.
That's not good.
I've been hired 4 employees and 3 of them quit, basicly.
For real?
Yeah. The kids, man. The kids these days, they just have no sense of...
You hired and fired in 1 week?
No. One quit on me after 2 weeks. Oh, one quit on me after 2 days. Second one quit off after 2 weeks, but it wasn't on a bad terms. Just the second one was we discussed it.
You know what here's what I've been hearing that's been going. Do you know what quiet quitting is?
Yes, I absolutely know what quiet quitting is.
Is that what's happening right now?
I get quiet quitted, dude.
You get quiet quitted. Is that why you're firing people? Because people are quiet quitting on you?
Well, no.
They just don't want to go above and beyond. They're just I'm gonna do the bare minimum.
I mean, I think that's just any worker these days. You know what I mean? Like, it's really hard to find when they say it's really hard to find good help these days. Yeah. It's true. It's really true.
What is quiet quitting?
Quiet quitting is basically kids that like the workforce people that just, and correct me, you can add on if I'm leaving anything out, but they are not doing anything above their responsibilities, not going above and beyond or trying to be a better employee.
Exactly. It's doing the bare minimum.
Doing the bare minimum.
And so you know what I heard is also going on in China, and it's a form of quiet quitting. They're calling it intermittent working.
Wow,
it's
that's genius.
Intermittent working. It's like I will work.
That's genius.
Intermittently, right? Normally the work week is what, like 5 to 6 days, 5 to 6 days a week, right?
Well, they probably have 7, right? Oh, they have 6.
And so the intermittent working is like, I don't think I should work, and I might be wrong here too. So I might get fact checked over here, but like it's a form of that quiet quitting. It's that like I don't think I need to work this hard because my mental health is now being compromised because of whether it be COVID, whether XYZ, call it whatever it is. The war is going on. Whatever it is. And so there is a lot of that's happening.
It's also that we are in America, and America just doesn't know how to treat their workforce. Bosses are, shout out to all the big corporations that try to do all the cool stuff. Like Google has like nap pods and things like that. And I'm sure there's a lot of these companies that are progressive and really like, attacking mental health and like, some companies.
What do you think the point of a nap pod is, though? Because I would love a nap pod.
Oh, productivity. If someone,
you're like tired, you're
sure.
like you're coding 12 hours straight.
Bro, you've done it. I've seen you done it. I've seen you do it.
Oh, the nap pod for us was the freaking cave at the dojo.
The cave, and what we did
was
just
go in and take a little 20-minute.
Between your rehearsal or whatever, like you had to do something else. I've seen you go out. I've seen you knock out in like anywhere. So you
Real
do
talk,
it.
That's I actually have.
That's what basically it is. And then when you get up and you do another 6 hours.
I nap pod in my car. I nap pod wherever I can. Yeah. Okay. I get it. Okay. Yeah. So all right. So we got a culture of work right now that's quiet quitting, that are intermittent working.
Yeah.
It's a tough time.
No,
man.
and it's unfortunate. And my last employee that I really like her. She's cool. And then she got in a car accident. So
damn.
Yeah.
She okay?
Just a couple of days. Yeah, she's fine. But that's like snowballing to some other things. That's her business. I don't want to talk about it, obviously. I don't really know full details, but it's just like, dang, man. Like when the worst thing could happen, it happens. The worst thing that could happen happens. So it's like I am actually back on Indeed.com. Hey, Indeed, sponsor us. I'm one of your biggest customers.
Mr. Indeed.
Yeah, and
we are here, Indeed.
We'll do the new hires and see what's going on. So it's really hard, man. It's hard to find good help. Dojo, we had some good help, though.
We did have some good help at Dojo.
Shout out to the Dojo.
Well, I mean, is that stressing you out? Like, you're taking sips of tequila?
I mean, yes. It is stressing me out, but it's something I've done for 17
So
years,
how are
bro.
you? How do you like deal with that kind of stress? Like, how do you decompress? How do you take your mind off of that? Because I'm assuming there's a lot of weight that you carry on your shoulders. You're running your family business.
Yeah.
You know, you're trying to maintain your own personal sanity as well as, you know, with your wife. Like, how do you
Leave
like
it at
find?
home, dude. I mean, leave it at work. Once I get out of those doors, all the problems that I think about at work, unless it's something really big and I have to think about it, I just leave it at work and I'll deal with it tomorrow. Come in a happier mindset, so it's like easier to deal with.
How do you get to your happier mindset?
Eat in video games.
Weed and video games.
Video games, my dog, my sanctuary.
Video games.
Video games. My
We need to
sanctuary,
freaking make something.
coming home.
Okay.
Like, you know what I mean? My wife, you know what I mean? Like just being at home, that I need to recharge.
That's why you never hang out with me, bro. Because I'm like, I hit you up to hang out, and this will always.
Bro,
just
if
be
I
like,
didn't, if I had, if I had
he'll
to
either
do-
ghost me or just be like, oh, sorry, I'm straining right now.
My bad,
I
bro.
gotta
You know,
stream.
when I'm doing customer service all day, this is. Hi, hey, yeah.
Oh, we get fake Ryan.
Yeah, it's very. Is it fake? Because
We get
the suburban moms in
we
Studio
get
City be loving it.
customer Ryan service.
No, but it's not
Ryan.
fake because I'm being genuine here. But I have to stretch out my face to
Okay,
get
I
that
get it.
point.
All jokes aside, everybody has to do the thing that is the work thing, right? Like,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
you got to show the work face or like do the work personality. I get it. And that can drain you.
Yeah, it drains me, especially because it's family business and it's Korean family business. You know what I mean? If you know what I'm talking about, like
Okay. Yeah.
just like the whole, everyone who has a Korean father would know.
All
what I'm
right.
talking
So
about, right?
you know what? That's like I love to expand on that, like the Korean thing, right? Like, well, for one, all of us in here are Korean Americans.
Yeah.
You know, we're born. How do you define first generation? Because I thought first generation was like the our parents that immigrated.
And we're the first ones born
so
here.
I thought they were the first generation, but is it like the first born in
In
America,
America,
is
yeah.
considered? Okay, so then
Yeah.
we're the first generation.
Yeah. Or what? Are we 1.5?
Mark, were your parents
I was born here. My parents.
were they immigrated from Korea?
Yeah.
Okay, so then are we all first generation?
Yes. I think 1.5 is you're born in Korea and then you move to you migrate to is it migrate?
I don't
to
know, man.
USA?
What's considered
And we
second
don't.
generation?
Second
So-
generation is when you have kids.
Okay, so I
That's
haven't
your
had kids
kids
yet.
is-
Okay,
yeah,
so they're second
they're
generation.
second
So we're
generation.
somewhere
We're
in
first.
between
I
this
think we're
first and
first.
1.5. All right, listeners and viewers, feel free to drop in the comments what you think is considered first generation,
should know this already.
1.5, and
Being our
second
age,
second
bro.
gen. I know, but the thing is, I hear different perspectives on this though too.
Okay.
I've talked to many people that are like, "Oh, you're the first born of after your parents immigrated, so you're first generation." I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, but the whole time that I was growing up as a kid, we referred to our parents as first generation. Like they're the first generation to immigrate, so they're considered first.
I think you're looking at it as like who's first to immigrate versus who's first to be born here.
If you're immigrating here, born in Korea, you're 0.5.
That's what I said. 0.5.
So
Say that one more time.
0.5 for the people who immigrate here. Children born here, first generation. Second generation is parents born in the U.S.
Okay.
So we are first generation.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
we
that's
are
what it is.
first generation in this room.
Yeah.
We are the
know.
first gen. First gen. So
That's why, like Japanese people, some Japanese, you'll meet them and they don't
Oh,
speak
like,
a lick
yeah.
of Japanese, and they're like 7 generations in.
legit, like in
or
Hawaii, they're
4 or 5 generations
yeah,
in.
they got generations.
Oh, for sure. I know Japanese dudes that don't speak a lick of Japanese. They're the whitest, Japanese dudes.
Or the most Americanized.
Yes, we
We will correct
yeah.
you there.
Yes.
Ryan's so hard.
Hey, I'm trying to be.
He's
I thought
trying
we were in a
so
safe
hard
space
to
here.
not get canceled today.
I thought we were being in a safe space
we are
here.
in a safe space.
And you know what?
I'm not gonna cancel
And you know what? Look,
But someone who's listening might. Not
sure.
me.
I didn't say it in a mean way. I said
know.
white. I said white. They're
Bro,
not white.
It's okay.
This is
bro.
what I said. This is what CNN says.
I
and
get it.
Fox.
We are in the generation of canceling cancel culture.
Who cares, man?
How about that?
Canceling culture.
We're gonna cancel
You
culture.
can't cancel me because I'm nobody.
You can cancel anybody, bro.
I guess you can.
But you can uncancel anybody as well. So going back to
Anyways, yeah.
we're talking about our Korean parents, right? That raised us in a certain way that, you know, generationally speaking, we thought, or well, our parents thought, like, you take on the family legacy, you take on the business,
Yeah.
and then you do these things to carry on, you know, the traditions that our parents brought from the motherland. And from what I understand is that was how our parents grew up, right? Like,
Yeah.
whatever their parents did, they pass it down. Not to say that it's the actual trade itself, but it's the mentality of like, teach your kids how to do this thing,
sure.
and then they take it out over, and then they're gonna take care of you, and then the tradition just continues to like trickle down.
Yeah, it trickles down, but I feel like, I mean, the minute our parents or every parent, Korean parent that decided to move to the States, every generation, our generation starts to, you know, fade out. Our culture starts to fade out. They become more Americanized. I feel like already when I look at my friends and their kids, and some of my friends have old kids, like 10 years old, 11, man, they're like the Korean, I mean, like the whole Korean culture, remember, you got to go to Hangarakyo and all that stuff. That has died out, you know. I feel like that.
Isn't that sad though? Like,
it is a little bit. I still think
so. Okay,
Korean
I hated
language
going. I
should still be,
hated
'cause
going
I
to
didn't.
Hangarakyo when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But I am so thankful that my mom
Made you
made
go.
me, because now I can speak Korean. I can read Korean.
Yeah,
so,
see,
so like, okay.
that's my regret.
So like, from our kids, if we marry well, you married a Korean woman. If I marry a Korean woman, like, will I now lose that?
A little bit.
Unless I like instill it, like, no. Our kids are going to Korean school on Saturdays.
Would you do that? Would you do that in your current situation with if you were married to?
I would want to. I think
Make
I
them
would
have.
want to.
Yeah, I think you totally should.
I would
'cause
want to.
It's definitely a benefit.
My kid, let's say if I were to marry like a non-Korean person,
Yeah.
they're gonna get English by default
For sure.
because they live here, right? But let's say I marry a Latina.
Ooh.
Let's just say
That's
that.
good. I like
Let's just
that.
say. So they're gonna get English by default because they live here.
Spanish. If she speaks
They won't
Spanish.
get Spanish by default. They'll get Spanish if we put them in
Depends
Spanish.
how Latina she is, though. How Latina she is.
but
She
like-
might, you know.
So then what about Korean? Why wouldn't they get Korean by default?
Because your wife they would get default.
So wait, what are you saying about Latina women, Mark? I think you have an opinion about Latina
I
women.
think. I think.
I have an opinion about women and their parents, the kids, no matter what, because the mom's in control of, I think, the children's like formative years. They're gonna learn the language. They're gonna learn Spanish. If your wife is Korean or Latina, they're gonna learn that language no matter what.
True.
If they're German, they're gonna learn German.
Okay, from firsthand real life experience, my niece is half white, half Korean. When she was young, like in her, I would say from like 0 to 4,
She was more.
she was learning a lot of Korean. Because my mom would speak to her in Korean. Her mom, my sister, would speak to her majority in Korean because she tried. But there came
changed
a
it up.
point where they kind of gave up. So
That's the thing, they
my
gave up.
sister and AKA her mom, not AKA, like
AKA.
her mom, AKA my sister, just gave up and just started talking to her in English. And then regardless, no matter how much my mom still tried to instill the Korean, she just lost it all.
Well, your niece is what, like in high school now?
She's in
about
high
to go.
school now.
So
Yeah.
tell your sister and talk to your niece and tell her like even from you, like if you learn Korean even more than you know now, right? If you were 100% fluent, like 100%, right? Think about all the more opportunities you could have done with your work with anything, right?
for sure,
For me
dude.
too.
I'd probably be just
missed out
killing
on
it in
so
Korea
many-
right
yeah,
now.
we'd be
I
together. baby.
would not be here. Forget freaking America, bro. I'd be in Korea
No,
killing
so
it.
you gotta be the uncle. For me, if I was her, like even with my niece, She's full Korean and she doesn't speak Korean. And I tell her, man, I'm like, dude, I missed out on so many opportunities.
Okay. So your niece is full Korean.
Yeah.
Doesn't speak Korean. So
she's 14 years old. Doesn't speak. She speaks a little bit. She understands a little bit. But.
Okay. So was there a point where your brother and his wife were like, we need to make sure she speaks Korean, or did they just not even care?
You know
about
what's
that?
funny is that my sister-in-law, her family, they're like fluent in Korean, like Korean drama fluent Korean, you know.
Okay,
But
so
our family, we are not at all. Well, at least me and my brother aren't.
why do you think that is?
I think my brother's just more dominant in the relationship.
And he's like, F that.
He's
I'm
like,
speaking English.
He was more like, if you don't want to do it, I'm not going to force you. Because he doesn't see the benefit of it. Like, I think my brother is in a field where he doesn't need to be, like, you know what I mean? Like, he doesn't need to talk to people. He doesn't need to, like, be social, you know what I mean? So for me, I see, like, not having Korean in my repertoire or whatever, like, that hinders me because I can't work with, I've actually turned down things because I'm like, oh, I can't speak or understand what's going on. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you could have been a freaking Korean superstar, bro.
Not even a superstar, even just like on the producing side, like getting involved with certain projects. Like I have had to pass it along to, you know what I mean? Like friends or other people because I don't have the Korean language skill. You know what I mean? I don't want to cry right now. No,
But okay, question. Your brother is your older brother.
Yeah.
And older brother, aka first son, is a big deal in Korean culture. So your parents didn't like try to enforce
They
this,
did.
like,
They did. I think we were
and he was just that like, nah, I'm not about it. Rebellious.
I think what it was is that he did it though. He actually probably, if he went back, he probably could know more. He knew more Korean than me, because he was born in Korea, so that was his first language.
When did he move?
They probably
or how
came here
old
when
was
they were
he?
a couple of years old. I mean, like 2 or 3 maybe.
Okay, so
one or
he
two.
didn't.
Yeah, he was
okay.
like basic, ma, like things like that.
Didn't retain a
but you
whole
got to
lot.
remember when they first came to America, they're not speaking any English, like barely. So at least until he went into preschool, elementary school or whatever, first grade, kindergarten, like he didn't like really interact with much English. So his actually Korean was pretty good up until a certain point. Like I think it was when we moved to California, we both, because my parents tried to take us to Hangarakyo at like church.
Yeah.
But we would ditch and go across the street and play Street Fighter. So
Yeah, I did that.
and my parents were like, man, why am I
time.
paying this much for you guys to go play video games and eat French fries? Like, so they just took us out. They gave up. And I'm always like, man, what? You guys didn't give up on a lot of things, but you gave up on that. I'm like, you shouldn't have gave up on that.
Man, I guess I just hearing that, I got to just give props to my mom, because my mom did not give up to the point where she beat that into us. She's like, you are not.
That is true.
Not going to Hangarakyo.
Considering that you look hella Chinese, you're Filipino, you're pretty fluent in Korean.
Bro, my mom.
You throw everybody.
Put the freaking Hangarakyo thing like legit in me. My dad didn't really care. My dad was kind of just out of the picture most of my life, which is a whole other story.
Mm-hmm.
But like, yeah, I mean, my mom really made it a point where she's like, no, this is not an option. You're going. And I hated it. But and I still would do whatever I could to ditch, but I would get in trouble. I guess I was like a wannabe bad boy.
Yeah, I mean,
Like I would do bad stuff and I would like ditch, but once I got caught and got reprimanded, I'm like, okay, my bad. All right, I'll be good. I'll be good again.
Yeah, I didn't give up. I kept
I'll
on
be
being
good.
bad.
And then I just was like, all right, fine. I'll just go to this class. I'll learn this.
That's
thing.
interesting because your mom was so like into making you learn the language and she stuck with it. But when I met you, and even now, like most people won't even know that you're Korean unless they talk to you or someone like I tell them, or you like bust out with some Korean. You know what I mean?
So what is it about me that
you got a 24/7 year-round tan, number one.
bro? I feel like we're the same tone.
Yeah, but I work at this. I'm a laborer. I work outside and stuff.
You look work in a freaking UPS store, bro.
You know how many packages I got to take out and bring in for suburban moms and like dude.
Are we really different tone? Hold on, let's do this.
Yeah, you're a more
little bit
crisper.
darker.
You're like more
I'm
like
a little bit
you
darker.
look like you went on vacation. I look like I've been working on the field all day. You know what I mean? Like I've been working outdoors.
I don't know what that is. Okay, well
If you're bread, he's just a loaf, and you're toasted a little.
Yeah.
I'm a little toasted.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. But like, I've known
Now
you
I
for
feel
a
like
long
I
time.
gotta do like 23andMe and freaking
Maybe you should.
figure out what's in my
Yeah, he's like
bloodline.
100% black.
No, there's no
Yeah,
way.
you're like 10%.
I mean,
Chinese
dude. I
and
mean,
then
for
black.
one, I did like as a kid. I loved playing outside. You know, I stayed outside. That was what I did. But like, I don't know what it is because I do get that. I do get the whole like, wait, you're Korean? Like,
Where you run to?
When I look at you, I don't think anything but Korean. I'm like,
But
this
I
guy
look
is
fucking
100%
though.
Korean.
I look hella Korean though.
And I see
I
that.
got a
I
big
look at
ass
Mark.
head, long ass
Mark
hair. He
looks
hella
very Korean.
Hella Korean.
And for whatever reason, for me, people are like, "Wait, you're Korean?" Sometimes, every so often, I'll get it, and I'm like, "Oh shoot, yeah, I am Korean." But I'm like, "Wait, what is it about me?"
And
that,
you
like-
got Chung as your last name, which is also a Chinese last name.
well, CHEUNG.
I know a dude. His name is and he's Chinese. I think he's Chinese. He's Chinese for sure. Because
And
I've
you
asked
know
him if
what
he's
though?
Korean.
There's a Vietnamese Chung also.
I get fucked up all the time because when I'm like meet people, I'm like, oh, you're Korean. They're like, actually, I'm Chinese. I'm like, oh my bad. Like, damn.
Yeah, I get. I mean, Kim's.
Maybe you got a
Kim's
little
are
bit.
hard
You should
to-
do it. You should.
But
do
I
this
mean,
one.
people don't like. I don't go around announcing my freaking last name to everybody. People just, you know, they'll look at me and then they're like, "Wait,
They'll
you're
go,
Korean?"
he's Korean.
And like, I don't know what it is. If it's my
Bro,
skin
you should
tone or
get one of
whatever.
those Korean shows, those variety shows where they like have like different nationalities speaking Korean. Dude, you can fool
Do you
that,
think
man.
is it the way I dress? Do I like not dress Korean?
That and you're in Jabberwockies or like Kava Modern.
That's,
like-
I don't. That's not like freaking like hovering around my head when I meet people.
No, but what I'm saying is it's also an association. So when people see you in a group of people, right? People see me, they always see me
Bro,
with Korean.
I've met a lot of people with like you and like the hella Korean homies.
Yeah, I know. People think I'm
And-
hella like.
But
like,
they'll be like, "Oh, I thought you were Filipino this whole time." I'm like, "Why? I'm hanging out at Tobang, freaking."
because you're a good dancer, you know what I mean?
Oh, so that's what it is.
I wish I
Korean-
was called Filipino once
Korean-
in a while. I wanted to be
Dude,
Filipino
no,
in junior high school.
You can't even say that because there's plenty of times where I don't dance. Like we're legit sitting at a table at Tobang eating freaking Korean food, drinking soju, like all of it, and then
Okay, and then another
People
thing.
were like, "Wait,
you
you're
don't
Korean?"
have a Korean eye shape.
what is that? That sounds kind of racist.
Like there's a lot of Koreans. We have
What's the
eyes that are
Korean
like
eye
this,
shape, dude?
Like this. It's very small and very like.
Dog, you're offending me right now.
I'm saying you don't have that. I have small eyes. You don't. You even have the double eyelid. You know
I
what
don't
mean?
have the double eyelid, bro. Look,
Bro, you.
I do
I
now.
wear my
Watch,
glasses. Yeah, you see, but see the fact that you can do it.
The on-off switch.
watch
Yeah,
this.
hold on.
Watch this. Do it for the cameras. I had on, and off, on,
All right,
off, on.
People pay money for that.
hold on.
Do they?
Do you double eyelid?
Guys, my OnlyFans is OnlyFans.
No, not you. They're not gonna pay you to see your double eyelids. They're gonna pay to get double eyelid.
You know, my dad actually had to get a double eyelids because his eyelashes kept
Me
poking
too.
his
They
eyeballs.
remember when I got
Wait, you have
LASIK?
Sankapur?
No, I don't. Remember when I got
See, I knew
LASIK?
you
Do you remember
don't
when I
have
got LASIK back in the day during youth senior
I
time?
remember, yes.
And I would. So they told me, look, you need to. The reason why you need LASIK is because your cornea is getting scratched by your eyelashes because my eyelash was going in like
Yeah,
downward.
that's what was happening with my dad.
And so they were like, yeah, you have to do that. And I was like, okay, well, like, you know, at that time, that was like when we were in like, I was 25. You know what I was thinking about? Robin clowning on me, Mark clowning on me, you clowning on me, like getting Sankapur susu, right? So I told the doctor, I was like, nah, I just deal with it for the
bro,
rest of
you
my
know,
life.
if you got Sankapur, bro,
I'd be hella pretty right now,
You'd
I
be
know.
in Korea,
I'd be
freaking pop
sexy as hell.
starring it
That
up,
was the
dude.
biggest mistake.
You would
I
have been
should've-
on. You would have been in BTS.
I would have dealt with 2 or 3 years of clowning, and then you guys would have given up.
all kinds of success.
You guys would have
after
given
that.
up, and I would have been sexy as hell. I would have been like Daniel Henney or whatever. You know what I mean?
I don't know who that
Let's
is.
not go too far.
The guy from Weapon X, the Asian dude that has the guns, and in Wolverine, the half Korean, half white dude, Daniel Henney.
Okay, fine.
He's
This guy. See, that's exactly why you're not Korean, bro.
I don't know, bro. I don't know who everyone like all the Korean people
See,
who are
that's
hot
how.
right now.
That's why people don't think you're Korean because you just don't know. What
Oh,
the-
it's because I'm dumb.
No. You just got to know the key figures in in the industry who they don't have to be famous, but they're just Korean. You know what I mean?
know PK.
Like what's his name? Like
Shout out PK. What's up?
shout out PK.
Let's get on.
But
here.
like Heinz Ward, nobody knew who he was until he went to the Super Bowl. No one cared.
I still don't know who he is.
Come on, bro.
I don't. You
Can
know
we
me,
do
bro.
some
I'm not
research here
a
before
sports
you-
guy, bro. You already know I'm not a sports guy.
But you Korean, so that's what I'm saying, man.
Okay, well, speaking of Korean, then, so do you identify with a lot of the stereotypes of like Korean men to like Korean culture? Because I think there's a lot of like stereotypes out there.
Yeah. I mean, what are some of the stereotypes?
Well,
we're angry. We yell and we're loud. Yeah, which
I will say
Shit, that's
Koreans.
pretty on
I've
point.
heard, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. Koreans are known to be the Irishmen.
Irish of
Asia.
Asia, yes.
What does that mean? We have the ability,
drinkers.
as we're like hiccuping from our alcohol right now.
We're drinkers
We can drink and brawl.
and we fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think. And we went through like a poor stage. So like Korea went through their poor like phase, right? Like their poor country phase. So I feel like there's like a chip, you know? It's like you meet an Irish dude and like you offend them, you might get in a fight. If you meet a Korean dude, you offend him, you're gonna get in a fight. You know what I mean? Like,
100%.
you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
and with the whole Irish, I don't know, but
Are you a hot-tempered dude?
you know.
You know what's funny?
Hmm.
As long as I've known you and we've been in some like sketchy like situations, we've never gotten into a fighting
With anyone.
situation together. Not like fighting each other, obviously
yeah.
not.
Yeah, yeah.
But a fighting situation. I've been in fighting situations. I know you have.
Yeah.
But we've never done it
Can
together.
I tell you why?
Should we like go to
No.
K-Town right now?
Can I tell you
and-
why?
and, like,
The reason
just
why
start some
is because
stuff?
when I'm with you, there's like there's a level of like your downness that I get thrown off by. That so I become more. I try to be a little bit more like
Peacemaker?
Yeah, I tone it down because when I see it, because I see you how down you are. There's times where like I know if I'm like, hey bro, this guy is like effing with me right over here. Like, come with me.
It'd be a wrap.
I already know
Yeah.
you want to be like, oh wait, what? You'd be like, let's go. And knowing that about you, if
Well, I
there's
wouldn't be like,
there's
let's
situations
go
where
for
I know
no
there's
reason.
people like that piss you off. Like I see like there have been situations where we're out and somebody's being like a jackass and you're just trying to be cool, but I've seen you get a little like like you know like this could be a bad situation.
So I think for me, in my own personal assessment of myself,
Mm-hmm.
which can be very inaccurate, I think I am very, I'll say, mostly level-headed.
Yeah.
Even when I'm on the sauce, like I'll be mostly level-headed. I'm like, I would rather not get into a situation versus like, let's just do it because we're all amped up. I would rather not because it's just a smarter thing.
Yeah.
But then if I feel like there's also that like that tipping point of like, if that situation just tips over that edge, there's like, okay, there is one way to solve this
Yeah.
at that point.
I know.
Right?
I know you're.
We've
at,
never. Thankfully, I don't think we've ever gotten to a situation.
I
that
think
that
I
was a
think
thing.
we've been in situations where either it was diffused. It wasn't like that big of a deal.
Right.
But like definitely,
God.
yeah, definitely. We've never gotten into any racial stuff because I know if that came up,
Oh, it'd be
you
a
would
wrap.
pop off.
That's-
You know what I mean?
see,
And
now-
that's when I would
now,
probably if you popped off, I would probably be a little bit more okay. Let's not let Ben go to jail here. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, I ain't trying to go. To
which
jail.
is I think that's why it works. That's why we are not a shit show together. You know what I mean? We might be a shit show a little bit, but not a shit show. You know, like where it's like drama for other people who hang out with us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good observation, man.
Yeah,
that's
dude.
a good observation. Yeah, we've never, dude. The racial stuff, man. That's the stuff
It
that
gets you. I know.
Brian, like I told you, in the last episode, I'm gonna go to therapy. I feel like that's the kind of stuff that I need to like
Yeah.
unravel a little bit.
And I think for me too, like I think more for me, I don't get pissed off easily, but once you get that point, I'm like, and I just like Vera would be like, "Are you sure you want to say that right now?" I'm like, "Yeah, I want to say that. Hell yeah, yeah." She's like, "You're gonna regret it." I'm like, "I don't give a." Like, and then like an hour later, I'm like,
so
"Hey,
what is that?
I'm
What is
really
that?
sorry."
What is the scenario where you get to the point where you're just like reaching 100 where you're like,
I think it's, and I've been watching some the random TikToks, you know what I mean? The TikToks that come out, and some of them are enlightening, you know what I mean? And one of them was like, oh, you're reactive because you probably never got heard. Like your side or your point or why you or your feeling or whatever, right?
Yep.
And so I think the times when I get like that, especially with my wife, is that she's just like not listening to anything I'm saying, and I'm like, it just triggers me to where I'm like, it just gets me to that point. So yeah, I think a lot of it it's internal. So I'm working on it. And it's tough, dude.
hey man, it's all good, bro.
It's funny.
This could be your therapy right now.
No, it's all good, dude. Marriage is therapy, man. It's two ways, dude. You can either turn into the skid or you don't, and you learn and you grow, and then you both become better people, or you just continue to fight and just be your own way.
You know what I think that's interesting, and I will just acknowledge what you're talking about is, sometimes the most important relationships to you are the clearest mirrors to who you actually are. Meaning, so if you are married, which you are, your wife is going to be a very clear mirror to your biggest everything, strengths, weaknesses.
Oh yeah.
Flaws, like things that you are insecure about,
Everything.
like all of it.
Everything.
There's
There's
a
no
clearest
hiding
mirror,
anything.
and that as much as that sounds like wow, that sucks. That who wants that? I think like for me, I feel like man, self-awareness is the biggest ally to you.
Yeah.
As much as you are self-aware, like the more you are self-aware, you will have the ability to not only fix your flaws for your own personal benefit, but like fix yourself so that you can help and serve and encourage those who are around you. And I think that's the biggest thing that I feel like I've been learning, with like, dude, I listen to all kinds of like, podcasts to audiobooks of I'm listening to an audiobook right now called Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins.
Okay.
If y'all don't know who David Goggins is,
David Goggins.
freaking look this guy up. This fool is a superhuman. And I'm not even exaggerating. And I'm not even finished with the book. I started listening to it. What is today? Today's Thursday. I started listening to it like Sunday. I'm almost done. This is like a 13-hour.
Oh, you listen to it? I'm down for that.
It's an audiobook.
Yeah.
I'll promote it right now. Can't Hurt Me, David Goggins. Read or listen to the book, depending on what your learning style is. But the whole thing with this guy is like your mind is the most powerful tool that you have, more than your physical body, because your mind can tell your body to do things that your body doesn't want to do because your mind says, yes, you're going to do it.
Yeah.
Even
mind over matter.
Even
right?
like this guy literally is running 100-mile races on broken legs. That's not even the short of it. That's not even the short of it. So I know I'm like getting all hyped up. It's because I'm currently in a space where I'm like, man, I'm trying to, bro, we just got through COVID or still getting through COVID. And like I've built up habits that I'm like, I'm not so happy about. My health has deteriorated, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, in so many ways. And I'm not okay with it. I want to just be like, yo, I want to just call myself out. I'm like, you did not used to be like this, but now you are like this. Who got you like this? You did. How do you get yourself out? You get yourself out. How are you going to get yourself out? Get the help that you need to get yourself out. Like, that's just like, I'm literally in a place where I'm literally calling myself out. And so speaking about like Koreanness, that's something that I feel like traditionally speaking, we didn't get that from our parents. Cause like at least our dads.
We didn't get Koreanness? I got everything from my parents.
No. I'm saying our dads.
All my worst stuff.
Our dads did not have that I'm not the best dad, or I need to be more emotionally connected,
yeah,
or I
that-
need to like fix this. Our dads, at least for my dad was like, this is the way that it is.
Yes. I
And
will
then fall in line. You got to figure it out, you know?
I will give them one benefit of the doubt, saying that they did come to a new place, a new country, had to start over. So it was tough. That's why most of our parents, probably you can relate, that they were working the whole time, and you're just, at home making your own ramyun at like a certain age and watching television to, whenever you wanted to, because your parents were working. And then
We were latchkey
yeah,
kids.
it would latchkey kids. And so I don't blame them for it. I don't blame them for the lack of, I guess, I don't know what to say, like lack of communication, lack
Well,
of
so
being there.
I know you don't want. I'm not blaming our parents either, because it's like they grew up observing what their parents showed them,
Yeah.
and they
Which
were
was
the
probably during war or
wartime,
right after
all of it.
wartime, right? Yeah.
And so they had to, figure out and adopt their own survival mentality
in a new country.
in a new country where there was so much opposition. There's racism. They came here with like $500 in their pocket, like all of that stuff, right? Like we hear all these stories, but these are real stories. So when they came here and so much was against them, and they figured out how to like make it here, like I'm not trying to get into too much of this whole like model minority thing, but
Yeah.
like it's a real thing.
Yeah,
You
it
know,
is.
like the reason why my parents were like, you can marry a white girl, but you can't marry a black girl. I was like, what? Like, why?
Yeah,
Why
yeah.
not? What's the difference? And they're just like, you just don't understand. And I'm like, yeah, I don't understand. Like, tell me. And they didn't even know how to explain it. And so like this whole like systematic racism that we've grown up in and that we're like learning now how to sort of dismantle.
Yeah, dismantle and
And I'll be
program.
real, bro. Like I love my mom. Oh my, I love you. You're probably not listening. Maybe you are. But my mom's racist, bro. My mom's racist, bro. And I would hope that, I mean, she's gotten better. She's gotten like, everything. It was either like Asian. No, it went from like you're marrying a Korean girl or maybe a white girl. Out of that, like there's no other option. I'm like, what? I'm like, what if it's God's will for me to marry someone? And she's like, man,
you know what?
My
Let's
mom
not,
literally,
let's not
literally
say she's
said,
racist.
Hold on.
She's ignorant.
Okay.
She's ignorant.
Ignorance. Okay, fine. I'll give it that. I'll give it
Because
that.
racist is a lot of hatred behind it too. Racism, right? And I don't see your mom being hateful, just being more like more
But then
just
when you're ignorant to something and you have in your ignorance, you're still like they're lower or less than. So whenever you see something happen within that community, you're like, it's because they were blah, blah, blah.
yeah.
It's
I mean,
because
I
they
think-
were blah, blah,
yeah,
blah.
yeah.
You know what I mean? That's where racism
I think that's
is
a lot of
dangerous.
Korean, just them being from Korea too. Like they're brainwashed in ways.
Brainwashed how though? Like, and from what?
Well,
What
because
brainwashed
you guys
them?
all have to remember, like we're in a unique situation where we're living in a country that it's just a melting pot, right? Or that's how we're supposed to be, a melting pot of different races, different cultures, and we're one. That's why we don't have one set religion or one set. Even English is not the main language of the United States. So I think like being in Korea or in Japan, or being looking like one of us in the same country, it's easy to be brainwashed to say like, oh, we're better than someone else, or we have to treat someone else that doesn't look like us differently, right? So I don't blame them, because I do see my dad trying to be more open-minded about things. You know what I mean? And even though he said some racist things before, he's done, but like said, just thought racist things or just had that prejudiced mindset. But he's not a racist guy. You know what I mean? Like, this is the funniest. Just even like,
Hey,
I feel like I'm defending Donald Trump right now. Like what I sound
okay.
exactly like the dudes that defend like Donald
It's
Trump.
okay.
And,
Are you a MAGA guy?
no,
bro?
no, I'm not. No. And you know what? This is how I know. My dad was like, I was like, you know what? Don't vote for Donald Trump. He's like, oh, but Donald Trump has some good. I was like, dude, it's all that lie. This and that. And I was giving him the spiel, and he was like, look. He just wanted to stop. He was like, I'm not gonna vote for anybody, so don't worry. So I was like, cool.
Well, that's also casting a vote.
But you know what? That's still to me, because I know other parents have done like they voted for Donald Trump. Like, boom. That's what they think. It's because Korean Christians, man, they're crazy. Just as crazy as white evangelists.
Don't be talking about Korean Christians, because then now you're also just putting Korean Christians in a box.
Okay,
as if
I'm
every
sorry.
Korean Christian.
I'm sorry. Let me rephrase. Older generation Korean Christians are very similar.
So you're talking
to
about
white evangelical. Yes.
Conservative, ultra conservative. That
Koreans.
would kind of side on the Republican side. So with that being said, you think that the conservative Republican side voted for Trump?
Yeah, well, not only that, going deeper, if you want to think, like, we've grown up in the Korean church. We've grown up with the mindset of the prejudice, the judging, right?
And I hate it.
Right? And it's, a lot of it is, I mean, obviously it's in every church, but I feel like there's a lot of it more in the Asian, because Asians do it just in general. They already do it. They do that kind of stuff.
So, I'm not even trying to make... I didn't think this episode was going to go into like a race thing per se.
Sorry, dude.
But like, it's also getting very political. But I think let's talk about it.
Yeah.
I think this is what this show is about.
Yeah.
Is that like being white adjacent, right? So our parents immigrating here under the pretenses of like, this is white America. They didn't come here thinking this is a melting pot, like where anyone of any color or creed can succeed. They're just like, yo, the white people run this place. So we got to make sure that we respect the white folks.
Fall in line. Fall in line. Put your head down and work hard.
The model minority myth. Oh, the Asians, they don't cause any trouble. They're cool. They work.
And that's why people are punking us right now. They're going around punking us.
And it's considered weakness or meekness, right? Docile. You don't cause trouble. If you get punked, you're gonna take it.
Mm-hmm.
We're not gonna punk you because you're not causing any trouble. But as soon as you cause trouble, we're gonna put you in check. And that is that model minority myth that is the product of all the Asian hate stuff that we've been seeing. You know what I mean? And I could get checked, I could get corrected, and you know what? If I get corrected, I'll get corrected. I'm good with
definitely.
that. But so the problem is that when you like pigeonhole a people group, a color, a race, an ethnicity. No. I'm not saying when you. I'm just saying when a person pigeonholes a people group into like, oh, that people group, this is their way of living. This is like, their quote unquote avatar. This is what they are. They act like this. They think this. They believe this. They value this. Blah blah blah. That's dangerous.
Yeah.
And that's prejudices, right?
But that's
stereotypes.
the way the world is, bro. Right? That's the way the world is.
The world is that in a unfortunate way.
Yeah. That's why I became more Korean, because I was way more. My first girlfriend was Hispanic. Filipino, you know what I mean? And I didn't date a Korean.
What do you mean you became more Korean? What does that mean?
The interactions with people, I didn't live in K-Town. The only interactions I had was at church. So then when I went back to school, all my best friends were black, white, you know what I mean, Indian or whatever, or Persian or Armenian. And so I was very not Korean, and I didn't get more Korean until high school, and then I became more Korean in college.
Okay.
Because I realized the world is that way. Like, as sad as it is, you're gonna want to side with the people that understand you the most.
I love this. Now I think we're getting into the territory of what does it mean to be Korean.
Yeah, and that's
like
made me become more.
You became more Korean because you were born Korean. You were Korean as you were at birth, as you are now. But you said you became more Korean.
I told my parents with Hangarakyo, I was like, I'm American. We're in America. I don't need to know Korean. I don't want to, like, I didn't say I don't want to be Korean, but I was basically saying I'm American.
Yeah, like
you're Korean, I'm American. And that's why my parents.
You were kind of that kind of rebellious.
And my parents were like, okay, like, that's what you want. And they gave it to me, right? And I feel like I was like, dang, that's one of the biggest things that I regret. I'm like, wow. I missed out on just language, like understanding having a conversation with my grandmas and understanding what they're saying to the fullest and being able to let them understand what I want to convey to them. Like, I'm speaking like a toddler or like a 2-3 year old, like Korean, you know what I mean? Like, the level of Korean I'm speaking to them. And so they're like, yeah, so it's like a basic, oh, how's your day? But I can't be like, grandma, like, how is it living in the Korean War? You know, and like experiencing this and that. So yeah, dude, like,
That's pretty wild. So
that's
like,
why I think I overcompensate of trying to be extra Korean, like on other ways, you know?
you know, but that actually makes sense, you know, in knowing you, because
Yo, I overcompensate.
yeah, no, I mean, I don't mean that in a like a demeaning kind of way, because when I look at you, you know, you're so not Korean in who you are as like your person.
My personality?
I don't want to say personality. You know what? Because I think your personality is very Korean.
Is it?
Is very air quote. I'm using my air quotes.
What does that mean?
Quote
We'll
unquote
dig into that
Korean.
later.
We'll get into that too, because there's a lot of like stereotypes about like, oh, Korean men are like this. That's why I use this about you, but like you don't really speak Korean. Like, I mean, yeah, you like kogi and stuff like that, but who doesn't? But like, my guy, you love freaking tacos and Mexican food.
I actually love Korean food more than anything. I would have it
Really?
I would
then
prefer
I'm not Korean then.
I would
Korean...
prefer to eat Korean food every single day if I could do it.
Wow, see, that means
Morning, breakfast, lunch, dinner. Maybe not breakfast.
I cannot.
I need
Korean
eggs,
food
bacon.
is not in my, even in my...
What?
It's not in my top
How?
three. It's not in my top three.
Dude, you don't come home after a long day of dancing and then be like, I want some jjigae. Like, jjigae and pop.
I want a pizza, I want hamburgers, and a burrito.
See?
That's my top three.
That's a brainwashing. No, I'm kidding. No, I like it too.
But I don't know what to tell you. Like,
no, that's fine. That's fine.
Filipino, he needs to eat more
That's you want some?
I didn't put Filipino in my top three. That
adobo?
junk is not in my top three. I said freaking pizza, burgers, and tacos or burritos. So, like, that's the thing that I find to be interesting is that when I look at you, you don't really speak Korean.
I can speak a little bit, okay?
It's fine. It's fine.
안녕하세요.
It's fine. You don't really get down with the Korean drama stuff.
I don't.
You don't really listen
And
to
that's
the
because
K-pop
of the language.
stuff.
Do you mean it's me watching you
Bro,
guys watching the
white
video
people,
in the rain? I'm
white people love K-pop, bro.
They don't know what's going on.
White people love K-dramas,
They
bro.
don't know what's going on.
Exactly. But you're Korean.
They don't know
and you don't even care about that stuff.
Look,
I'm not like shaming you for it.
I feel like
I'm just telling you what it is. You don't care about the stuff.
I want to watch it. I put up a front like, oh, that's a game. Whatever. You know what I mean? Like I do that.
So you know what I think your most Koreanness is? You are most Korean about etiquette. Like the mannerisms of like the Tuson poor, the like, yo, I'm your hyung. You need
what? That's
dude,
what you think?
bro. Come
you,
on, dog.
You know me?
You are such the hyung and oppa guy. You're the hyung oppa guy, dude. You're such the hyung oppa guy.
First of all, just because people that are younger call me that, it doesn't mean that I never.
I know you don't. I don't. But then once they give you that, you act the part.
Of course. I act the part before. I feel like I've gained that respect from people.
I know you have.
You know? I don't
there's a lot of youngins that give you that respect in our,
because I'm freaking old.
In our community.
Yeah. Sure.
You know, from the the freaking,
just don't inside when you that's not necessary.
You know, your entitled days, bro. Like they give you that respect, right? And that's also part of the culture. It's like, oh, my hyung or my oppa is whatever, and I'm going to like give him the respect. I'm gonna insa, I'm gonna, you know, tuson poor, all the things. And I think you value that stuff.
You know what's funny is I appreciate it because that's the last bit of Korean culture the little bit of Korean culture that we have. Because we're not living in Korea. We're American, Korean American, if we call it Korean American or American, right? So that's that last bit of it. So I do like that respect because I have no problem doing that for my hyungs, right? So I do appreciate it when it's done to me. But at the same time, I get very awkward and gets a little weird for me when I feel like I need to get to know a person and then they like, if they do that because that's who they are, like that's fine. But there are times where like, it happens, and I'm like, nah, it's cool. You don't have to do that. Because then it starts to make, it's because when I was younger, you want to feel older, but now I'm actually old.
You want to feel younger?
So I don't want people like, oh, hey, don't inside, like, don't,
Like-
I might get, like, people might know that I'm not supposed to be here, like,
Yeah.
and I actually appreciate when my dongsengs or people I've met who are younger than me, who used to call me young, and as our friendship develops, we become more like casual. You know what I mean? I know they still might respect me that way, but they don't have to. I'm not like that. I think
You're not
think
that guy that's like, yeah,
yeah,
ima.
yeah.
You're not that guy.
But there is sometimes if a dude is popping off and he's really young, I won't
check
say
him.
I'll check him, but I'm not gonna check him because it has nothing to do with me being Korean. I'm just that kind of guy.
You're just gonna check him because
I mean,
yo, bro.
I don't like I will stand up for anybody asking like an ass unless it's me, because then,
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, dude, like I think a lot of it too, being married, having that Korean culture mentality is not good, especially if your wife is not.
It's not.
Because now, like,
It's a lot of pride and ego in there.
yeah, she used to call me oppa. Now she calls me hey,
Calls you, hey you,
hey you.
mother effer. No, we love you,
No,
Vero.
I'm just kidding, Vero. Don't. She gonna shut this whole shit down.
This joke is done. Nah, no, I get it though, man. Well, so like I think we're on a topic of what it means to be Korean. And we keep
You know what
using
your
these air quotes.
Koreanness is?
What's my I said Koreanness.
Your Koreanness, I think, is you have a little bit of a
What is that?
fuse.
Oh, I do, bro. Yeah,
You
I don't really have much of a anger issue.
You don't get bothered by a lot of things, but there's certain triggers
a thing,
that, like,
bro.
yeah.
So that's what I'm going to therapy for, dog. I'm
Yeah,
trying to go
that's
to
your
therapy.
most Koreanness. Is that I think that
I think for me, a lot of it's like racism type things.
Oh, yeah.
Racist things, because I just experienced a lot of racism, and I like buried that down. I'm just like, okay, whatever. I'm just gonna like ignore that. And then there just came a point, bro, like literally, I was just like, yo, anybody who says anything against me and they mention anything about my Asianness, they're a racist, and I'm going off.
Bro, you know what though? Can I tell you, because of the racist stuff that has been hit with, that's what helped me become quick and with my retaliation, with my attacks.
Now I get it.
Bro, you're quick with it. You're quick with the jokes and the snapback. So you should thank the racism for that, because that's one of your strongest qualities.
I mean, it might come in a context
Your quips.
Like context of being attacked racially. But the thing is, nowadays, if I was attacked racially, I'm just like, what the frick did you just say? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not healthy.
You know what's crazy? Do you think that it's geared to only a certain group? Or do you feel like if a black guy came up to you and called you, did a racial slur, right? Would you react the same way? Because for me, I don't react the same way. I actually my walls go down, and I'm like, bro, like, I'm your ally. Like, I come in a way where if someone comes at me, like, except that one guy, like I told you a story about, but that was 10 minutes after I already tried to defuse the situation. I feel like especially with black people, we're geared towards each other, and everything that we have anger towards each other was almost manufactured. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like especially with the riots and all that, like everything that happened, especially with, Rodney King and all the tension, they developed this tension between us when we should really be allies.
Yeah,
you know
agree.
what I mean? We have so many similarities. We're like, at the end of the day, like, yeah, like there are people who are racist or Asian, but there are a lot of that aren't.
Totally.
That are allies, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I've been able to diffuse situations, especially after the George Floyd incident, where people are like, oh, is that what? And like, they've gotten really like, I could see like, okay, the racial thing, the tension is going up. And I've been like, I pull them aside like, bro, like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Like, it's like, do you feel like that? Do you feel like?
I think it's, you bring up a good point. I don't think it's like black or white, no pun intended.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning it's not just this or that. I think there's gray areas. And I think it's
situational too.
It's situational. It's a matter of reading the person. It's a matter of reading the scenario. Like, what is the environment? And again, I don't want to like be this like, oh, you said the wrong word, you're canceled. I hate that. We all say stuff that's like ignorant. You know, we all have, unfortunately, like racist stuff that's kind of baked into our upbringing, that we might say things that has a racist sort of undertone that we might not even realize, you know? And it's like, oh shoot, I didn't know that was racist. Like I need to like delete that, or I need to get rid of that. And as soon as you say something or do something that has something that is a result of how you grew up, I don't think you should be canceled on the basis of that thing said or done, but you should be made aware, like, yo, like, just so you know, that's
not cool.
Not okay. And we need to rethink that. Let's talk about that so that we can understand why that's not okay anymore.
Yeah. I had actually a friend after the 2020. He's a brother. He told me all black cards have been revoked.
Oh yeah.
Nobody has a black card.
Bro,
anymore,
I had a lot of my black homies
gave
me the card.
I had a card too. You know.
And I'm like, it's to this day, bro. When I even recite rap songs, the words, bro. I said, or I say ninja or jigga, whatever it is, but like I don't say it.
Yeah.
And as much as that's kind of a joke, like it's to the point, and it's not like because I'm like, oh, I'm in front of black people, I shouldn't say that. When I'm in my car by myself, I don't say it because I don't want that in my own head to think that it's okay to say that, because I know the gravity and the weight of certain words.
Do
you
think there was a time? Okay, obviously we're not black, so we don't know the other side of it. But do you think there was a time where it was getting comfortable, getting like okay, or like, you know what I mean, like when the black cards were going out, you know what I mean, like you said,
sure was.
Right? Yeah.
I mean, it's when you said, like when the quote unquote cards were passed out, it's like, okay, you get the black card,
Yeah.
because we're cool with our homie, and that's the thing too. We're talking about, and I don't want to make it just about hip hop culture, because I think, this transcends.
But hip hop culture is in everything.
But hip hop is what really bled into so many different places where it's like, yo, this thing really is a melting pot. Hip hop culture involves stories, music.
It's in movies. It's in
dance.
Country music. Like they're like mixing like country artists, like
food. Like hip hop culture literally
video games
infused into everything.
Video game, yeah.
And so
like you guys were doing like motion stop, like whatever, like for like dance games or like video games, like they took the Kenja's dance moves for Fortnite.
They did. That's a whole other conversation.
Yeah, sorry.
A whole other conversation. But like, I'm saying, hip hop has a large part to do with like bridging the gaps between cultures. You know what I mean? Like, so you talk about Asian culture, and then
too,
let's talk about the bridge between Asian and Black culture, bro.
Oh,
what is Wu-Tang Clan? What is The Last Dragon? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many things that are out there.
Last Dragon, Cisco? Oh no.
No, The Last Dragon, Barry Gordy's Last Dragon. This fool was talking about
the movie, right? Yeah. Bruce Leroy.
Thank you.
Okay,
I might have unfriended you. If you didn't know what The Last Dragon was, I might have unfriended you.
You didn't get my Cisco?
Right now.
Yeah.
Okay, he's
the Last Dragon also.
He's not the Last Dragon.
Or he's
he
the dragon.
Said he was the dragon, but I love you, Cisco, but you're not the Last Dragon. But like there are so many things that, between Black culture and Asian culture, they embraced like beautiful sides, whether it be food, whether it be music, whether it be martial arts.
Yeah.
Like all of it was like there is a bridge there.
No, can I tell you a weird conspiracy? I think they're trying to pit us against each other.
Who's they?
Whoever they is, man.
Who's they, bro?
Okay, look. At the end of the day, you know those like Instagram like sites like Asian Dawn, Jackfruit, all those guys, right? Like not Jackfruit because we know the Jackfruit guys, but like there's other accounts that just post like Asians getting beat up, that fuels me. Like when I follow those things, I get angry,
bro,
right?
That's why
it makes me like
unfollowed some of those.
Yeah, I totally unfollowed them because I was like, yo, if someone wanted to get us to fight against each other, all they had to do was just set up 2 accounts and just show like all these things to make us hate each other.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, and when I say this, like the ruling party or whatever, the government or whatever, they don't want us to get along because the people are stronger and they know, dude, the government is fucking up right now. They're not for the people. That's on another. We could talk about this for another thing, but like they don't want us to. That's why I think even like Russia, all that scandals about Facebook, all that stuff, it's all because they want us to fight. We're fighting right now. We are the most divided.
Are we fighting? I thought we were just talking, bro.
Nah. I mean, I'm talking about the country, but yeah. We don't have to get. I don't want to get into it. This is like a,
No, we'll save that.
Attack.
We'll save that for another one. But you know what? Like, I legit, as we wanted to just catch up.
Yeah.
But I think that the conversation about like I'm gonna use my air quotes again, being Korean, right? Like, what does it mean to be Korean? I think the reason why
it's not just feathered hair.
you and I wanted to even start this podcast was to talk about all the things that we think exist as far as stereotypes and myths and issues that are actually like real in our community that maybe people may or may not know, you know what I mean? And like our whole objective is not to be like, yo, we are going to be the definitive, here's what's actually is. We're just giving our takes on it. We may be right or wrong or far off or kind of close, but the thing is, this whole show is conversations, right? We're three Asian guys in a room that experience life in America. This is where we live. We live in LA. We receive information that's given to us from news outlets and social media, and we form our own opinions based off of our own experiences. So this is not this like factual anything.
We
this
don't know.
But that's the thing. The whole thing about this show is let's have a conversation about it. We could be totally off. We could probably get we'll probably get a ton of comments, be like, y'all are stupid. Fine, call us stupid. And that's how we're gonna learn. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then, but don't just call us stupid. Tell us why. Give us a perspective that will help us shape us to know or to think in a way that maybe we're not thinking because of our bubbles that we're living in.
The bubble we grew up in.
And we want this show to be something that can be honest, that can be vulnerable, that can be random, right? And just be in a space where we can grow together. Hopefully you guys can laugh along with us in our stupidity and us clowning each other.
So now, to finish it off, right? On a scale of 1 to 10, how Korean am I?
Damn, bro, you're like a 9, dog.
I'm a 9.
You're a 9. You're a 9. You know why I don't give you a 10? Because you don't speak Korean. Out of that,
see, another thing that I missed because I don't speak Korean.
Your 1 point is speaking. If you were just speaking fluently, you'd be like,
bro, that's the story of my life. Bro.
Korean
story of my life. Man.
You look it, you act it, and I'm doing this again, guys. If you guys don't know what I'm doing, it's the air quotes. If you don't know, watch the YouTube video and you can see my air quotes. If you spoke Korean fluently, you would be a 10.
All right. For you?
Back to me. Give it to me, bro.
I say you're a 6.5.
6.5.
6.5.
I might have rated myself that same number.
Yeah, I think so. You know why? Because I feel like there's a lot of you where you were Korean in the beginning, and then you kind of branched out, and then you.
No, I was way less. What do you mean? What do you mean by the beginning?
Oh, you know what? Maybe because you were a skater boy.
Yeah,
right?
I wanted to be a white.
But you were like,
I wanted to be white, bro. I wanted to be white. I was embarrassed.
That's why you're 65.
I was embarrassed to speak Korean.
Take the chart and flip it this way. Okay. So you went from this, and you developed into Korean for 6.5. So.
Okay, give me further explanation, not just for me.
Well, okay,
but for our listeners.
I mean, growing up with you.
You can use your air quotes.
Growing up with you never spoke Korean. But
I did speak Korean.
Just to use it. No, in front of me.
I spoke Korean in secret. Like I whispered Korean.
So what I'm saying is, you never flexed on the Korean.
No.
So I didn't even know you could speak in Korean, speak like good Korean until I think after you came back from Vegas, like that's when I realized, oh, you actually speak like decent Korean.
Because I didn't.
Because
Really
I would always
hang out.
see we would go
Yeah,
to K-Town
I
and
didn't
like
hang
you'd
out in
order like
K-Town. I was hanging out in Vegas, bro.
yeah, so that's and then you surround like everyone that you're surrounded like around is very not Korean, so that's why I give you a. I take the 9
I
because
did
I'm like
hang around a lot of
90
Filipinos.
100%, 99, 100% of the people I hang out with are Korean, probably, except the people I work with.
It's interesting.
And it's not because of like I don't want to. It's just that's just the way it happens. So
That's just the way it happens. All
yeah,
right.
yeah.
So, Mark, our producer, just said that he gave us a score of 7-7.
Yeah.
He gave me a score of
We don't. We're not good with fractions.
3-4, and he said that I was more 3 white, 4 Korean.
Well,
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Four,
we
one,
were
one.
4 America,
For America.
3 Korean.
Okay, I'm done with that. Because for America
Wait, are
doesn't
we doing
necessarily
fractions
mean,
right now?
No. We're
for
doing-
America doesn't necessarily mean
3
white,
plus
because
4
America
plus 4
is a
equals
melting
Okay.
pot, and I love
Oh,
the
I see,
melting
I see, I
pot
see.
What I'm
because
saying is,
I
like,
see,
I think we're basing this off of
I
food.
see.
I think we're basing this off of food.
3, 4. The score of 7. Okay.
put in other things that I've like known.
I will say the Korean is my lower score.
Okay.
Yeah.
My higher score is America, meaning the melting pot, not white. It's not white, bro. I'm not white, bro.
And I say that as like
What is my hat?
Your Koreanness is of 1 to 10 a 7, because like there's a presence of want to know.
Oh yeah, this is a scale of 1 to 10.
1 to 10.
So I'm like very Korean. I'm like
Yes.
right, almost
But
like
when
fully
you-
Korean. I'm like
We're
right here.
both the same, bro.
Yeah, but when
7,
you
7.
have
Okay.
the 3 plus 4 part, what I'm saying is like
I don't
that
do math,
Korean-
bro. My math
He's
sucks.
breaking it down. He's breaking it down for us.
You're the 7.
You're
right?
more.
And the reason why I say you're a 7 is like the 3 parts America or 3 parts Korean, the 4 parts America is America has a bigger influence, I think, just of your Koreanness, but your Koreanness overall.
That's actually pretty accurate. That's
Okay.
pretty accurate. I think that's pretty accurate.
That's why I say 7 for you. It's like your Koreanness is there, but your Koreanness is stronger than the America
Sure.
influence.
Sure, for sure.
So,
Like you want the Korea to be stronger.
I want the Korean to be strong. I
see that.
embrace
I see
it.
that. I see that.
because I love our food is just so bombed. How can you not want to eat this every day, dude? Maybe not the same thing
because
twice
my
in a row.
mom gave it to me for free every day.
See, you're spoiled. I wish I had it every day,
So
man.
wait, what did you eat every day at home?
Where?
At home when you were growing up as a kid, what was your
Oh,
like,
so
what were
what's
you eating?
funny is that when I was a kid, I didn't want to eat Korean, but I wanted to eat American food.
That's why.
yeah,
No.
this is the-
Me. I only got Korean
Oh no,
food.
no! Don't get it twisted. I only got Korean food though. I only got Korean food, but I wanted American food. But as I grew up, I realized like, oh shoot, this sundubu that I thought was disgusting is actually just delicious.
Well, that's it. I mean, we got into a lot of heated conversation today, which is I think is good. You know, like I think it's like therapy for all of us here. We are 3 Korean American guys that are our first generation, which we are still trying to figure out. We don't know for sure, and we're still trying to figure out what that is. But I love this, man. And Ryan, you and I, we go back many years.
I love this too because I'm finding out new things about you. That
Yeah, we haven't even
never
talked about this
about
stuff.
this
We
kind
never
of
talked
stuff,
about
yeah.
this stuff. And Mark is, our producer. I'm
out
learning
Mark.
stuff from him for the first time. And, so for anybody who's listening or watching, we welcome you guys to drop comments.
Yeah, dude.
We might
know,
be
I
wrong.
know-
We're probably wrong.
We're probably wrong.
We
We
might,
don't know
you might-
shit.
we might get canceled
We don't
after
know.
this.
We don't know
Whatever.
anything. But
It's all good. We're trying to learn and trying to figure this out. But what we want to say is thank you guys for just
Thank you.
taking the time to just even hop into this conversation. You guys are being flies on the wall. We want you guys to be involved. Drop a comment, in the videos, on the podcast. Leave a review. Give us a rating. Hopefully it's 5-star. We're not gonna force you to, but if you think it's dope, give us a 5-star.
And if it's dope, give us a follow, and we'll try to put out
Give
some
us a
better,
follow.
some good stuff, and subscribe and share. You know what I mean? So
And drop us topics, things that you think that, or topics that you would love for us to talk about. And it's not gonna just be us 3 lame
yeah,
guys over here.
we got some. Cool,
We got guests,
some
we
good
got
people
females that are
coming in.
gonna be coming in. and we're gonna do our best. So thank you guys so much for tuning into this
Thanks.
episode. We'll see you on the next
Let's
one.
go. Conversations
Conversations.
with Ben and Rye. Thursday nights. So you better be all about it. And I want to stop now because cut it.
Nope.
No.
Keep it going. Keep it going.
No,
keep it
I don't
going,
know. I
keep it
didn't write
going, keep it
anymore.
going.
I didn't write anymore.
Peace out,
All
y'all.
right, peace.
Boom.